Today, Maura and I are going to talk about block number 8 of Sewcialites 3. It's called the Beacon Block, and it's designed by Amy Smart. Hi, Maura.
Hey, Ann.
Okay, so let's show our blocks.
Oh, da-da-da. Is it all in there?
Yeah, kind of. I can't get mine straight. There we go. Pretty.
The 9 inches are hard to fit in there.
So how many seams did you rip, Maura?
I ripped 3, and I probably should have ripped 4.
Yeah, I know. I ripped 2, and I could have ripped 8.
So you beat me. You get a point on that one for the
I
seam
got
rip.
you on that one. Yeah. Limiting yourself to 20 minutes, can you tell me what difficulties you might have had with this block?
It was horrible. It was not a beginner. It was, if you wanted to slap it together, and just, willy-nilly and didn't care how it came out, then I guess it could be a beginner at that level. But there were just a lot of challenges. I like the instructions. I like the doubling up on the, sewing the squares and then making those into a triangle. But if you didn't pay attention how this fit, it could be really uneven. It could be, you had to watch your point setting, and yeah, it was just I like the block. I would totally do it again.
You
I have a lot
would?
of fun ideas for it. Yeah, I would. But it was challenging to me.
Yeah, it was. Thought I was being super careful, and I really was. But still, in the end, I had these spun the wrong direction, the flying geese, when I
Oh,
started
okay.
sewing the sides on. And before I realized it, I had 2 sides sewn to a flying geese. So that's where my seam rips came from.
Oh, okay. Okay. One of my seam rips came from redoing this because I had totally sewn over my point. And then I still have one point that's sewn over, and it wasn't as bad as the first one. But I noticed, like, you have to, when you're sewing this, you need to have this part on the top of the machine so that you catch where you're going in that little corner if you want your point to be nice and neat.
Yeah,
So,
that's for sure. Check out the back of mine. It's hilarious. I ended up cutting to the seam
yeah.
to kind of, because I like nesting my seams, and then in the end I try to figure out how to make things less bulky. Looks like a crazy person did it.
My back wasn't too bad. But I have that stupid blue fabric that the more I iron it, the more I press it, the more it wrinkles up.
Is that 100% cotton, or does that have some polyester in it?
It may have some polyester in it. It's from the stash.
That could be why it looks like it's really
Yeah,
stretching.
it is. I'm not happy with that fabric. We might be finding another substitute for that.
Yeah, that would be really hard to work with, especially with all these triangles. This one was all
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, the hardest part was, well, keeping track. And frankly, I'm doing the black instead of white. And when a block has a lot of different colors in it, I get confused really easily because I my subconscious is going, black's the darker one, but it's the
Yeah.
lighter one. So I had
Yeah.
a hard time with that. But yeah, besides that, for me, it was the seams they're still really bulky. Yeah.
So did you have any tips?
You know what I thought of? I need to start reading the patterns better when I begin, because this had the perfect opportunity for 4 at a time flying geese,
Mm-hmm.
because they use common colors and everything. I wish I would have done that. Did you do that?
I didn't. I thought about it, and then I couldn't find my cheat sheet. But you go on the internet, and it's just like, okay, it needs to be this finished size. And the four at a time geese I like better because there's no waste at the end of it.
There's 2 different. I prefer the oversized 4 at a time flying geese so that I can cut them down. So there is that one out there floating around too. That's my favorite.
There was another, that was where two of my seam rips was one of my flying geese that went all wonky on me.
Ah, yeah. No, but other than that, there's really nothing you can do about this block. And I'd slog through it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a slog. It was challenging. That's when these come in really handy when we had to cut the blocks. You cannot get those blocks right, those little corner squares, without some sort of diagonal ruler. You just can't.
Yeah. Have you heard of those block lock rulers? I'm so tempted to get one.
No,
They
no.
have a 45-degree angle, but it's a ledge. So you push it up against it stops. So it's by
Oh,
feel.
okay.
I know they're not
Oh,
cheap, but so tempting.
that would be really fast cutting though if you
Mhm.
had that. Yeah, I was having a hard time like finding the line, and but glad I had it because my I think my blocks turned out pretty precise and still 9.5 by 9.5. Real happy about
That's
that.
behind you. That's awesome.
That's way behind me. That's about 3 blocks behind.
Well, mine, when I trimmed it down to 9.5, like this top, I don't know if that's in the, this top point is not a 1/4 inch. And I'm starting to do the things that I did in Socialites too, which is I'm going too scant on my seams so that, yeah, I could trim
Oh,
it down afterwards, which is great. But when you go too scant, you end up with less than a 1/4 inch after you trim down to the point.
oh,
So
okay.
I need to remember not to go so scant. So yeah, that's my lesson of the
Good
week.
to know.
Yeah,
Good to know.
yeah.
So I wanted to talk about the pattern itself. Once I got sewed up and I went kind of to the site to see what other people had done, and they got really creative. So here's what it's supposed to look like. But if you rearrange the pieces, this is all the other options that you can
Oh
get.
wow.
And there's some really creative, just playing around with those blocks. Those are all the same
Oh,
components,
that's
just
really
played around with.
cool. Show me that
Yeah.
first one again.
So there's the bottom one.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
And then there's the top one.
that one's really
And
cool.
it's and just all I did was just cutting these apart. I should have played with the fabric more, but I'm always in my mind following the
Yeah,
directions and okay, this is what they want me to do. But this was a block that had a lot of opportunity to play with it and design something completely different.
yeah, for sure. Well, you
So
kind
that's
of
why I
did
would
that
actually
on
go back to it.
yours a little bit, didn't you? You had the one color all the way around the center in a diamond shape.
Well, I did, yeah. No, that's two different colors, but you just don't
Oh,
catch it
okay,
unless
okay.
you see it really
It
up
it's the
close.
video, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I like the effect though. It's cool. I thought about
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that
I
with
liked how
black.
it turned out. Hmm?
I thought about doing that with black. Actually, here, let me show you. So when I first is this the one? Yeah. So when I first I took their little layout and I colored the parts I wanted to have black just to, yeah.
Yeah.
So I kind of was thinking of that to begin with, but then when I got down to the black, I thought, nah. Last time I moved the black around, I ended up with a Halloween block. So I shied away from that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was pleased that mine, I mean, I still have the imperfections, but it's a lot better than it would have been a couple of months ago.
For sure. Oh my
Um,
gosh. It's crazy how far you've come.
so what was your time?
Well, it was 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Oh, you beat me.
Yes, yes, yes. I am catching up.
I was an hour and 7.
We're always really close, usually.
Yeah, you beat me on seam rips this time, and you beat me on time. Congratulations, you're up two
Thank you
points.
so much. I really needed that. I thought we're going to have to like quietly drop this competition pretty soon or something. So, yay. That makes me
I
happy.
was like, I was just like, oh, this is going to be like 20 minutes sewing, do, and then I'm like into it, and I'm like, oh, for the love of,
Well, I got your text, and I was like,
yeah,
dude, maybe I'll win this week. So I thought I'm going to go slow and easy on this one. That's
yeah, did
awesome.
did not, yeah, did not agree with the beginner
I
aspect at all.
I am behind you on that one. I think anytime there's not only triangles you're sewing on the bias, but all these points matching up, I don't see how it could be. This is the kind of block that reminds me of Sewcialites 2 that I was talking about last week,
Oh,
where
okay.
I felt they were all
Well,
really hard. This is the kind of stuff that I remember doing. So yeah.
yeah, there was just it was a lot to it. And then did you notice like they wanted the seams open in that middle square, and I think that was to take out of some of the bulk.
Yeah, I never pay attention to the press open instructions. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. Not today. Well, because you can't match the points. I thought I'll deal with the bulky joints later. I want to be able to make my points at least try to come together. Yeah, they are bulky. I can see why they suggested that one gets pressed open, but for the camera,
Yeah.
this one up here.
And then yeah. And then just changing that, you could have the pinwheel in the center,
That
and
was a cool one.
just
I like that one. I'm glad you showed those.
yeah, I just thought it was pretty clever, just playing with them. And if it was something I was doing on my own outside of this, I would be playing it with it more, and
Yeah.
creating other different things.
Do you have any other thoughts on this block?
No, just that I hate the blue fabric that keeps wrinkling up on me.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me, Maura. Bye.
Bye, Ann. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week for Block 9.